Okay, now we're getting to the seaming of a net, and I have already, let's see, I have already knitted this net on out. This is 16 rows, and it is 31 or 32, 31 meshes to the row, and if I went over one, that's okay. So it's either 31 or 32. But anyway, now it gets to the time of seaming the net, and if it's done right, you will not be able to tell where this net's been seamed. So I grabbed where the first mesh was actually knitted right here, and this is the last one right over here. So what I do, I come right up here to where the knot is, and in fact, let's see, I need to turn it around. I need to come this way. Here it is. Okay, this is going to be the first one right here, and this is going to be the last one right here. So watch how I do this. I take the first one, and I take this nylon twine and I slide it right from coming up from the underneath. I slide it through the first mesh, and what I do, I make just a regular knot in it, like I knit the first row, over, under, and pull, over, under, and pull, and that is what I'm going to do. That is the same stitch I'm going to use to actually seam the whole net. Now I grab the last mesh here, and when I grab it, as you see, this was the knot for the first one, this is the knot for the second one. But since I've already tied into the knot of the first one, I'm going to come halfway down below the knot on the last row of meshes coming down. So I'm going from first to last, last to first, first to last, last to first. In other words, it's going to be a zigzag pattern from first to last, then last to first, first to last, last to first. It's going to be a zigzag pattern. And what I do, I pull it nice and tight. I don't need no mold for this except for the last one. I come down halfway between this knot and the bottom of that mesh, and I just go over and I go under like that. I pull it nice and tight, and I do that one more time, over and under, nice and tight, and then I come back to the first. See, I'm going from first to last, last, and first. Okay, and then I just come halfway down in the second mesh here. Okay, see, I'm coming down halfway, about right there, bringing it down, stretching it nice and tight, over and under. And that ties the knot. Do it one more time, that ties the knot. Okay, now, let me push my chair a little bit further so I won't get out of the part of the camera. Now I'm on the left side, the beginning of the rows, and I just keep doing that zigzag pattern all the way down to the bottom. I come halfway down on this side, I come halfway down, and then I just simply make that simple knot. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, I'll be able to tell where it's been seamed, but you won't, believe me. Once all that's seamed together, you will not be able to tell that row from another row. And that's how you seam the net. You just do a zigzag pattern. That's how you do a cast net. Come halfway down, or any other type of net pretty much if you're going to, once you seam it. You pull them together halfway, and it's a simple knot. You just throw your string over, come up through the meshes, and it's a simple knot. I know it looks like a knot so simple that it won't hold, but believe me, it will. And especially after you dip it, then even more so. That's like putting liquid glue over every knot. Every knot will soak up that plastinet. It'll be set for life. Okay, so I'm coming down again. This is the first side. This is the second side. This is a zigzag. I come down to the middle of the second side from the first, throw it over, come on through, pull it, do it again. Okay, now come down halfway, over, come on through, pull it nice and tight, over, come on through. And by the way, you see that? You see where it's been, if you can see where that's been zigzag so far? As you can see, you can't tell the difference. You can't tell that row where it's been zigzagged together from any other row. Okay? Where it's been seamed, that is. But it's a zigzag stitch. And I emphasize that so you know to go from left to right, right to left, left to right. Okay. So it's on this side here. And sometimes if you see where when you pull it, it's going to pull one side over the other, you can come under it like this. And sometimes do it that way. It doesn't matter if that little twist will come out through use and pull it once it's pulled on. And okay. Now just come halfway down again. Over. Under and pull. Over, under, and pull. It's that simple. Seam-a-net. Okay, grab this side here. Come halfway down this mesh. Bring this to it. Pinch it. Over, through, and pull. Over, through, and pull. Okay, now we're going to come over here. We're getting close to the bottom. I just hope I can stretch this out to where it'll be in front of the camera and not lose the side of the camera. Okay, come halfway down on the right side. And it's just over and through again. It's a very simple knitting knot. It's basically the same one that you use for the first row of the net. Okay, let me move this a little bit forward some more. I want the cameras to catch it. Okay, now I'm on the right side, so here I am. I'm still coming down. I come like halfway down, bring this to it, pinch it, over, and through. Pull it nice and tight, over, through. Pull it nice and tight. Okay. Now, grab it over here. About halfway down. Okay, now. By the way, you see that? You see, you cannot tell where it's been seamed. Look how it all blends in real nice. Look how beautiful those meshes all blend in. You can't tell where it's been seamed. Okay, so just come here again. I'm almost at the bottom. Come halfway down here, pull this to it. Over, through. Very simple knot. I tell you, it's a magical coating. It's like a little thin wax coating you cannot see that's on that nylon. But when you pull it, even the most simplest of knots, oh, you'd have a time getting it out. And once it's dipped, boy, it is set. It's like liquid cement thin. Okay, let me push this chair a little bit further so I can get it in front of the camera. Here we go. I'm coming halfway down the middle of the mesh. Over. Okay, do it twice. And I'm going to have to do a little something different there when I get to the bottom, very bottom. And let's see. Okay, now. Okay, I'll come right to the middle, just like I would any other. Pull it. Now. Please pay attention right here. I'm at the very end here. That means I need one of these meshes between here and here. All I have to do there is grab my mold. Put my mold in here. Like this. push that chair a little bit. Okay. Bring the knot down to it. Okay. What I'm going to do is bring this knot down to it, and I'm going to come up under here like this. Okay? I'm going to bring that down to it. And I'm going to make that simple knot like I did up there at the top. Okay, because I can't stretch my feet to hold that chair. I'm going to have to do it like this. Normally I'll hold the chair with my foot, but it's far away. And I'm doing this for your sake because there's a camera here and I can only move it so far. Actually, when I'm knitting in the living room, usually I have my string up at the top might be 6 foot long, tied to an eye hook at the door. And I stretch it way over to the couch where I can sit back and relax while I'm knitting. Okay, now, as you see, put in that middle, that last mesh. And so what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to cut it and singe it. And I sure hope I brought my cutters over here. And we're going to have a complete net that's been knitted and seamed. Okay, cut this off. Maybe about 1/4 of an inch to singe. And we're going to cut this off. Okay, let's see now. You ought to see the homemade apparatus I've made just to hold the camera up to film this while I was knitting it. Okay. I didn't have a human being to do that for me, but at least now I know how to set it up when I want to do something with both hands and I can't hold the camera. I've got 2 aluminum flat bars there with some tape that I use to hold that camera. Okay, singe it. Singe it. Okay, now, okay, so you see I've got all the meshes in here. There's no missing part. Now, if you can look, you cannot tell where it's been seamed. Let me see if I can aim the camera a little bit or pull the net back. Okay, as you can see, you cannot tell where that net has been seamed. You just can't do it. You cannot tell. It doesn't look, where I've seamed it, it does not look any different than any other part of the net. You don't see no zigzag, but that's the pattern you had to follow. And just stretching it out, look how nice those meshes are. They're also nice and uniform, and that's going to make a real wonderful, it's going to make a very deep, wide open mouth crab net. And towards the end of the project, of course, we will take this twine up here that we wrapped it around and we'll tie that tight down there. This here will actually be double selvage knitted, which means there will be 2 strands of nylon. It'll be knitted around the metal ring, 2-foot metal ring. There'll be an 8.5 metal ring up in here, about the size of a dinner plate. And this will be a very wide, open, deep crab net. Made out of nylon that's been dipped, and as long as you keep it clean and washed out after every time you use it, and put them away in a sealed container after they dry out. You don't want to leave them out because little lizards and stuff like to eat any type of shrimp or dead fish that was left up on it that you might not have been able to wash off, and their little mouths will eat through this nylon, even though it's been dipped, if there's any fish or jellyfish or anything that's still coating it. So you really want to wash them off good after you finish with the nets, and after they dry, go ahead and put them in a sealed container. Okay? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? And as you see, the way this has been knitted, it's very fast. About every 40 to 45 minutes you should be able to knit one of these nets. And folks, that's your living right at the house. And if you don't want to use these to sell them and make a living with, you could live off the water with them if you eat that type of seafood. If you're a person that eats boiled crabs and stuffed crabs, or if you just want to catch the crabs and sell the boiled meat to restaurants and stuff, that's a market there. So these nets, as simple as an invention as they are, they're just what you need to get underneath that salt water and to catch that food, which some consider some of the finest food in the world. But anyway, folks, like I said, you cannot tell where that net has been seamed. Once it's done right, you see, you cannot tell. You just cannot tell. And this is actually going to be like a ocean blue, ocean bluish green once it's dipped in that plastinet. And it's going to be a beautiful net. Okay, I thank you all so much. So now you know how to start a net, you know how to knit a net, you know how to seam a net. The only thing left to show you all out there is actually how to make those steel rings. That will be done in another video. And actually how to take, once you have your 2 steel rings, how to actually, we'll knit one more row that will be double the nylon. It'll be a double nylon line row of meshes that actually go around the steel ring. That way, if one little strand was to break, another one's there to hold it on there. Okay? Yeah, like a little cast net, huh? But it's designed for the crabs. And once again, when it's seamed right, you will not see where that net's been seamed. Well, folks, I've just given you a part of the South. This is something that, if it wouldn't be for this video and maybe a few others, I haven't found any others out there that teach you from first to last how to make these, but I guess this will be the first one. I'll stand to be corrected if that's not the case. It's just something that people hold in the families, and they don't like to pass on to the general public, because when push comes to shove, that's something that their own kids can do for a living down here, down south, near the water. Like I said, if you don't want to sell these, you can just use them. Can you imagine how many crabs you could catch in a day if you're running 100 crab nets out there? But you're looking at almost $2,000 worth of nets if you had to go buy all that. So anyway, and oh my, this here, I'm getting towards the latter part of this roll here. But I'm thinking that you could probably get about 60 or 70 nets out of 1 pound of this number 9 bonded nylon, and you're looking at probably about, I think this is about $15, $16. Imagine getting that many nets out. But like I said, to get that kind of deal in the seafood industry, whether it be for this or a cast net or whatever, you pretty well have to know how to do it yourself. And anyway, folks, that's it. Send me some emails if you got any more questions. Once again, you're going to have to wait on me when it comes to that, showing you how to do that metal ring, though. Because I myself, after I left Alabama, I no longer have access to that tool. I'm going to have to go get one of those little roller ring tools at Harbor Freight that you put in a vise. And after you figure your circumference, and I think I made some comments underneath the video that tells you exactly how long each steel rod has to be before you start actually putting it in that little device to make a ring circle with it. So I've already figured that out for you. But anyway, that's it, folks. I love to do this. Very therapeutic for me, and hopefully it will be for you as well as financially rewarding also. Okay, my email address is weldingsteel@yahoo.com. weldingsteel@yahoo.com if you wish to email me. If any of you are interested in an offshore welder's guide, you can call me at 601-365-3518. And I take debit cards and credit cards if you'd like to place an order for that. Those of you who are interested in going to work offshore. Okay, folks, let me turn the camera off and we'll see you later. Thank you.